Good evening. We will now call the business session of January 7th, 2020 to order at 6 p.m. Welcome to our guests. We provide an opportunity for the public to address the City Council on any agenda item or during the hearing of visitors portion of the agenda. On items other than public hearings, speakers will be allotted 1 3-minute presentation regardless of the number of agenda items the speaker wishes to address. If you are here to speak and haven't filled out a registration card, please see the City Secretary staff at the registration table outside the auditorium so that staff can contact you if necessary. If you have handouts, please let us know at the beginning of your presentation and staff will distribute those to the council. If you are unable to approach the podium due to a physical limitation, a microphone is available to be brought to you. When called to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Each speaker must limit comments to 3 minutes. If you are speaking on behalf of a group of 10 or more individuals present, please have those persons stand at the beginning of your comments and you will be given 10 minutes to address the council. Please note that if you stand in support of a person getting 10 minutes to speak, you will be forfeiting your right to speak on that item. For any person addressing the council through the use of a translator, the speaking time will be doubled to accommodate the translation service. While public discourse is very important to the council, we have to maintain order in the meeting so that all persons may be heard and city business may be conducted. If so directed by me, the Sergeant at Arms shall remove from the council meeting any person who, while addressing the city council or while attending the city council meeting, makes personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks, becomes boisterous, or makes unauthorized remarks from the audience, claps hands, stomps feet, whistles, yells, or makes similar demonstrations. Please join us now for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Could you please repeat what you said?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I seem to be sorry about that.
Somebody thought we said, "Hey Siri." Okay. Our first item of business is to consider and approve the minutes of the December 17th, 2019 meeting. Are there any changes? Those will stand approved as read or as written. We have 2 public hearings tonight. The first is public hearing 2020-009. Millette Harrison.
Mayor and Council, this is a public hearing on an ordinance amending the project and financing plan for reinvestment zone number 1 for tax increment financing, also known as TIF Zone 1, to consider approving 3 items. 1, TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $483,311 to Elm Equity, Inc. to develop a mixed-use development that will include a hotel consisting of 12 individual rental units, retail space that will include a pastry shop and a coffee shop with additional artisan retail space. 2, to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $514,960 to Washington Partners Limited for public improvements associated with the repair and renovation of a 10,000 square foot 2-story building at 729 Washington Avenue into retail and commercial lease space. And 3, amend the agreement with SGH Real Estate Partnership, Ltd. To provide an extension of 1 year for the cottages at Cameron Heights located between North 4th Street and North 5th Street along Bosque Boulevard, and authorizing the city manager to execute any documents necessary to complete these transactions, providing effective date, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to you on first reading. On December 12th, 2019, the Reinvestment Zone Number 1 for Tax Increment Financing Board of Directors, also known as the TIF Board, voted 6-0 to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $483,311 to Elm Equity, Inc. to develop a mixed-use development that will include a hotel that houses 12 individual units, rental units that will serve as hotel rooms, retail space that will include a pastry shop, a coffee shop, and an artisan retail space. The TIF board also recommended setting an appraisal dispute value at $3,836,947, which is the current appraisal district value added to the total project cost. The contract term shall be a period of 11 years, 1 year of construction, and 10 years of payments to be paid out of the increment generated by the project. The TIF board voted 6-0 to provide TIF funds in an amount not to exceed $514,960 to Washington Partners Limited for public improvements associated with the repair and renovation of a 10,000 square foot, two-story building at 729 Washington Avenue into retail and commercial lease space. The TIF board also voted recommending setting the appraisal dispute value at $2,078,840, which is the current appraisal district value added to the total project costs. The contract term shall be a period of 4 years, 1 year for construction, 2 years of payments, and an additional 1 year of appraisal dispute period following the last payment. The TIF board voted 6-0 to recommend an extension of the contract with SGH Real Estate Property Partnership Limited for 1 year for the cottages at Cameron Heights between 4th Street and 5th Street along Bosque Boulevard. If approved, the new project deadline would be December 31st, 2020. If approved, these projects will have an additional total financial impact of up to $998,271 on the TIF funds available now and in the future. Through September 30th of 2020, excuse me, I'm sorry. Through September 30th of 2020, these projects are anticipated to have a financial impact of $411,960, leaving $41,835,280 of funds available at the beginning of the fiscal year and ending the fiscal year with $3,826,224 of TIF funds projected to be available through the end of September of this year for additional projects. As required by law, notice of this public hearing was published in the Waco Tribune-Herald on December 27th of 2019.
Are there any questions for staff? We'll open a public hearing for comments on this. We have 3 separate projects here. I have one card that is related to the extension, the third one, which is the extension of the SGH Real Estate Partnership agreement. So I'll start with that one. Is the applicant or the applicant's representative here? And if so, would you like to speak on this item? If you would, then please approach the podium and give us your name and address.
That mountain cedar's bad.
I'm sorry.
My name's, oh, she was coughing.
Okay, gotcha,
And I
gotcha,
felt
yeah,
sorry
yeah.
for her. I've been through the same thing. My name is Brad Holmes. My wife and I currently,
I'm sorry. Real quickly, I was asking first if there was somebody, if the applicant was here to speak in favor of this item.
I'm sure
if you
not
wanted to
Steve
speak.
Sorrells, so you want me to sit down again?
No, just stay, because you are the card that I have.
Oh, okay, well,
So,
that's good.
seeing no one, is there anyone else here who would like to speak in favor of this item? All right, I do have one person here, a card here from Brad Holmes, so now you'll proceed. Sorry about that. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. My name is Brad Holmes. My wife and I, Jan, live at 407 Bosque Boulevard, unit number 301, Waco, Texas 76707. It's located within the TIF project style cottages at Cameron Heights. We got our certificate of occupancy in May of 2018. My wife told me I had to behave tonight, so I kind of had to change some things around, so bear with me. I'm going to start off by asking, how many more extensions are you going to give Steve Sorrells and his company in this TIF project? My second question is, how many more years will it take to finish this TIF project? You know, the way I look at it, I feel like you guys, gentlemen, men, women, have your backs to the wall, just like my wife and I do, and we don't appreciate it. When I read in the Waco Tribune-Herald that the TIF Board of Directors had voted to, in favor of recommending to y'all this extension, I thought it was fake news at first. I called the lady that wrote the article, and she said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes, it's true." I called or actually emailed the city secretary's office to ask for certain documents under the Open Records Request Act. Well, during that time I was waiting on getting that information, I went back and looked in my files, And I had written an email to Millette Harrison on December the 4th that basically I recommended that no TIF money be paid on Mr. Sorrell's project known as the Austin 510-514 reservations until this TIF project, cottages at Cameron Heights, was finished. No response. On February the 15th, I wrote an email to Bradley Ford and carbon copied Millette, Clint, that we had met Bradley at a luncheon and told him that we were wanting to know what would happen if this project was not completed by December 31st, 2019. And to date, no response. I guess the response will be is how you vote tonight. You know, this project was started and approved 2011. It's now 2019. There's been 2 major extensions requested and given, and I don't understand why. I feel like the city has not been a good steward of the TIF funds, because there are lots of tax dollar revenue that could be gotten if this project had been completed on time.
I'm sorry, sir, that's your 3 minutes is over. That's the end of your time.
So 8 years on this project, 8 homes, and I only get 3 minutes. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. Thank you. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak on this item? All right, is there anyone here who would like to speak on either of the other 2 items that are on the, that are listed in this public hearing 2020-009? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. One of the council members has asked that we vote separately on item number 1, which is the $483,311 request for Elm Equity. So we'll handle each of these separately. Is there a motion on number 1?
Move for approval. Second.
Any discussion?
The only discussion is that I'm on the record, I think it was the last meeting that I said this, that I don't believe that it's a good use of tax dollars to incentivize hotels, any more hotels in our district or short-term lodging. And for that reason and that reason only, I am not in favor of this particular request.
Any further discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes?
Aye.
Meek?
Yes.
Kennard? Sabido?
Yes.
Bearfield?
yes,
Deaver?
Yes, that motion carries. I'll ask for a motion on sub-item 2, which is the $514,960 grant request to Washington Partners Limited.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes?
Aye.
Meek?
Yes.
Kennard?
Yes.
Sabido?
Yes.
Bearfield?
yes,
Deaver?
Yes, that motion is approved. And finally, is there a motion on item number 3, which is the 1-year extension on the agreement with SGH Real Estate Partnership Limited?
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? I'll just say that what Dylan pointed out earlier, which is that the developer in this case took a chance on a piece of property that was outside the area that was currently being developed at the time, and it has taken longer than any of us would like to see to get this project completed and done, but it does appear to be a good project, and this does not. The fact that we are extending this to December 31st, 2020 does not obligate the council to extend it any further beyond that. Any further discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes?
Aye.
Meek? Yes. Kennard? Yes. Sabido? Yes. Bearfield?
yes,
Deaver?
Yes, that motion carries. Public hearing 2020-010.
Honorable Mayor, members of the council, this is a public hearing to consider a resolution approving the following subdivision plats. Final plat of the Creekside Addition Phase 6 and final plat of the Foundation Addition Lot 2, Block 1. By a vote of 9-0, the Plan Commission recommended that the subdivision plats be approved.
Okay. Any questions for staff? I'll open a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? I'll close the public hearing. Is there a motion?
Motion for approval.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Aye.
Meek? Yes. Kennard?
Yes.
Sabido?
Yes.
Bearfield? Deaver,
Yes, that motion carries. The consent agenda tonight consists of resolutions 2020-011 through 2020-029. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Move approval of the consent agenda.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes.
Aye.
Meek.
Yes.
Kennard. Sabido.
Yes.
Bearfield.
Yes.
Deaver,
Yes, that motion carries. We have 5 ordinances tonight. The first is ordinance 2020-030 on first and final reading.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Waco, Texas, authorizing the issuance of City of Waco, Texas combination tax and revenue certificates of obligation, Series 2020, in an aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $65 million, levying a tax and providing for the award of the sale thereof in accordance with specified parameters, authorizing the execution and delivery of documents and agreements in connection therewith, approving the preparation of an official statement, enacting other provisions relating thereto, declaring an effective date, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to you on first and final reading pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 1201.028.
So do we need 2 votes on this? Just 1 vote? All right. Is there a motion?
Move for approval on first and final reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes.
Aye.
Meek.
Yes.
Kennard. Sabido.
Yes.
Bearfield.
Yes.
Deaver,
Yes, that motion carries. Ordinance 2020-031.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, amending Section 5-1 definitions, Section 5-92 animal at large, Section 5-96 nuisance animals, Section 5-97 honeybees, Section 5-123.1 proper restraint, Section 5-131 sale of animals in public place, and Section 5-181 fees of Chapter 5 animals of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, Texas, to establish parameters for private beekeeping, prohibit the retail sale of cats and dogs, authorize the city manager or his or her designee to exercise discretion in assessing animal shelter fees, and revise additional provisions for consistency and application and enforcement of these revisions, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinance in conflict herewith, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing a savings clause, and finding and terminating the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Okay, I have 2 cards on this ordinance. The first is Michelle Nemec.
Michelle Nemec, 1089 Dane Drive in Hewitt, Texas. Good evening, City Council. I'm currently a member of the City of Waco's Animal Welfare Board. I would like the City Council to know the animal ordinance revisions presented today are the result of much research, discussion, consideration, and were drafted after seeking outside opinions and expertise. We did our due diligence, and you should feel confident in these recommendations. The pet shop proposed addition is one that is particularly important to me, so I just wanted to express a few words. In addition, it is an addition that 2 states and approximately 400 municipalities across the U.S. have passed so far, many with wording very similar to what was presented to you. While such an ordinance does not currently impact any businesses in Waco at this time, as Councilman Sabido mentioned during the work session, this is a proactive measure for our city to avoid a reactive situation later. Such an ordinance functions to protect consumers, responsible breeders, promote animal welfare, reduce the burden to our animal control facility, save taxpayer dollars, and maintain city image. As an aside, additionally, the CDC determined less than 1 month ago that a multi-state outbreak, I think it was 13 states, of drug-resistant bacteria was linked to commercially produced pets being sold in pet stores. So now we also have an aspect of public health in this ordinance update. I want City Council to know this addition comes with tremendous support, including from all the animal welfare partners in our community. And also our animal care officers support this addition to the ordinance. This addition is also perhaps pretty important for the City Council. It's supported by Syntex Kennel Club, which is our local organization of responsible breeders in our community, and it is supported by Ranch Cat Cattery, which is our premier responsible cat breeder in the Central Texas area. These animal ordinance revisions collectively continue to elevate Waco down its path in animal welfare and further enhance Waco's position as a contemporary leader on animal welfare issues. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. The other card I have is from Julie Morris.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Julie Morris. I live at 10804 Apache Drive in Waco. I'm the president of a new animal rescue organization in Waco called Waco Pets Alive. Our organization fully supports the animal ordinances that are being discussed here this evening. In particular, the prohibiting of dog and cat retail sales and the ability for the reduction or removal of reclaim fees for folks with pets who have been brought into the shelter. Thank you for being a pet-forward city council and one that we're very proud to have represent us. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Okay, that's all the cards I have. Is there a motion on this item?
I'll move for approval of this ordinance, subject to one change in Section 5-97, Section 4B, changing the number 10 to the number 25.
And just to be clear, 5-97B, the first number 10 in the first line to 25, correct?
Yes.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I said this in the work session, and I'll reiterate it tonight. I really do appreciate all of the work and effort put in by the Animal Welfare Board and our attorney, David Shaw, and all the organizations and collaborations that have gone in just making sure that this ordinance is passed. I think it's very important. To me, in my opinion, it's even a quality of life for our citizens and constituents of our community. And so I would like just to add that before it comes to second reading, that we also pay attention to the third-party breeding when it comes to the sale of cats and dogs going to retail shops from our nonprofits, just to make sure that we address that issue. But other than that, I love that we're moving forward with this.
Any further discussion?
I'll echo Councilman Sabito's sentiments there, and I appreciate the two speakers coming tonight. It's a great animal welfare board that we have, and proactively making these changes to enhance, pet ownership, pet maintenance, and beekeeping. Let's all go get some bees and all be healthy. But no,
Within reason, within the rules.
That's right. Within 25 feet.
Get your impermeable barrier up, right, so you're 6 foot.
We are very fortunate in Waco to have amazing collaboration at this point between our animal department as well as the animal welfare organizations.
It's animal welfare, and then all of the Fuzzy Friends, and we have a lot of different groups that care about pets, and it's a pretty special thing in Waco.
And thanks to Councilmember Sabito for serving on this board and keeping us abreast of what's happening there. Please poll the council.
Yes. Holmes.
Aye.
Meek. Yes. Kennard. Yes. Sabido.
Yes.
Fairfield. Yes. Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. Ordinance 2020-032.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the comprehensive plan be amended to change the land use designation from suburban residential to urban residential on property described as Lot 1, Block 1, Daily Edition, property ID 383984, and located at the northeast corner of North 19th Street and Rock Creek Road and adjacent to 6417 North 19th Street, providing the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of said code, providing the zoning map shall be changed so the property described above shall be changed from R1A to O3 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 5-0 council vote on first reading on December 17, 2019.
Is there a motion?
Motion for approval on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes.
Aye.
Meek. Yes. Kennard.
Yes.
Sabido.
Yes.
Fairfield. Yes. Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. Ordinance 2020-033.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of said code, providing the zoning map shall be changed so that certain property described as being all of that certain lot, tract, or parcel of land located in the Tomas de la Vega Survey, abstract number 43, McLennan County, Texas, and being a called 4.737-acre tract of land as described in a deed to Dalton Samford, recording in volume 615, page 352 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas, property ID 12448, known as 3543 Old Marlin Road, shall be changed from M2 district classification and become and be designated into O3 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a severability clause, and finding and terminating the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 5-0 council vote on first reading on December 17, 2019.
Is there a motion?
Motion for approval on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes.
Aye.
Meek. Kennard.
Yes.
Sabido.
Yes.
Fairfield. Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. Ordinance 2020-034.
An ordinance adopting the 2019 Water Conservation and Drought Contingency Plan for the City of Waco, Texas, and amending Section 26-93 and Article 4 Water of Chapter 26 Utilities of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, Texas, to adopt said plan, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinance in conflict herewith, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for penalties, and finding and terminating the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 5-0 council vote on first reading on December 17, 2019.
Is there a motion?
Move approval on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Holmes. Meek. Kennard. Sabido.
Yes.
Fairfield.
Yes.
Deaver.
Yes, that motion carries. We will now open the hearing of visitors. During the hearing of visitors section of the agenda, we provide an opportunity for any citizen to present concerns or address issues that are not matters for consideration listed on the agenda. Council is unable to conduct discussion, but will listen, ask staff to look into concerns, and provide follow-up. Please provide registration information so that staff can contact you if necessary. If you have handouts, please let us know at the beginning of your presentation, and staff will distribute those to the council. If you are unable to approach the podium due to physical limitations, a microphone is available to be brought to you. When called to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Each speaker must limit comments to 3 minutes. If you are speaking on behalf of a group of 10 or more individuals present, please have those persons stand at the beginning of your comments, and you will be given 10 minutes to address the council. Please note that if you stand in support of a person getting 10 minutes to speak, you will be forfeiting your right to speak on that item. I have one card tonight from Alan Northcutt.
Thank you. Dr. Alan Northcutt, 619 Stone Manor Drive, McGregor. It's Precinct 5 in Waco. Mr. Shaw, in his energy plan, proposed continued use of natural gas. In his public comments, he praised natural gas. And our organization, certainly oppose that on climate basis. And I have a handout for you. An article from the New England Journal of Medicine. It's the most respected medical journal on earth, and this is written by 3 physicians. There are 3 key points here that I highlighted for you, but I'd like to go over those because they're crucial. As physicians deeply concerned about climate change and pollution and their consequences, we consider expansion of the natural gas infrastructure to be a grave hazard to human health. So that's pretty strong language. They also make the point that by 3 years from now, 2023, pretty much everywhere, wind and solar will be cheaper than natural gas, and in some places they're cheaper already. And then the other phrase was, we also recommend that new residential or commercial gas hookups not be permitted. New gas appliances be removed from the market, further gas exploration on federal lands be banned, and all new or planned construction of gas infrastructure be halted. So this supports what we've been saying, that the city in any new building should not include gas, and the building codes need to be changed as quickly as possible to eliminate gas. The home should be all electric, commercial all electric, because these are going to have to be removed, or the use of them is going to have to end in a matter of decades. So it's senseless to do that now and increase climate change. I also have an image for you. Australia is on fire. For months it's been burning, record fires. 10 million acres have been destroyed. Some 480,000 animals have been killed, 1,000 homes, 18 people. So the climate crisis is severe. And I don't see that term ever mentioned in the agenda here. You know, we have time and money for like a $500,000 playscape for people who can afford to attend that park, but no mention of the issue that will most affect the survivability of our planet and the biosphere here in Waco. So hopefully more attention will be paid to this crucial issue going forward, and I think this step on natural gas is very easy to undertake. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here who would like to address the council? Seeing no one, we'll close the hearing of visitors. Are there any council member reports on committees or boards or commissions liaison visits? Well, I struggle with that one. There being no further business, we'll adjourn the meeting at 6:30 p.m.